Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Molly here, and thank you so much for joining me today. So today's video is another asking for a friend episode. If you're new to my channel, this is a series where I give people advice based on life questions that they ask me. I put up a story on my Instagram and just tell people to ask me for advice, and I pick 1 to 3 questions a week and just give you my opinion on your problems. It's kind of like an ask column in a newspaper, but YouTube version. So if you have any questions that you want to ask me, feel free to leave a comment below or slide into my DMs on Instagram at hemali.mistry, and hopefully I will pick your question and answer it. So the first question I'm going to answer is, I'm in my mid-20s and I feel like I don't have a friend group. How do I attract this? So I think as we get older, a lot of times we feel like it's so much harder to make friends, which can be true, but also not. You have a lot more access to things now as you get older. You can go to more events, go to more places, but at the same time, as you get older, people really narrow down their friend groups and stick with the people that they know and like, and it can feel a little bit awkward breaking the ice or trying to get to know someone new and be their friend. The first thing I would suggest is really to step out of your comfort zone and join activities where you can find people with similar interests. So for example, if you love playing sports, then join a sports league. If you love doing art, maybe take some art classes. This way you'll find people that have similar interests to you and, build the relationship starting on that. And it'll also put you in a position where you do need to interact with people and you do get to meet new people. I think the biggest step within this suggestion is really to be stepping outside of your comfort zone and taking that leap. I think that's the scariest part of it all. Once you start doing that and putting yourself in that position though, it'll be easier to find people and attract new friends because they'll be all around you. It's really just being able to step out of your comfort zone to do that. And I think that's something that's scary for a lot of people to do. And my suggestion for that is to just kind of put yourself into it. It's going to be really awkward at first and really confusing and scary, but the more you do it, the more you'll get used to it. And it'll become a breeze after that. And don't be afraid of rejection. I think rejection is just a normal part of life. Some people you just won't get along with, but then there's going to be those times where a spark does happen and you do make a really good friend and you kind of just take it from there. Do not focus on the rejections, focus on the things that are working and the small wins rather than, oh, this person didn't like me. There's always going to be people out there that aren't really going to take that invitation and want to be your friend because they're comfortable in their own spot. Do not take that personally. Just move on to the next person and find someone that will be open to starting a relationship with you. Another thing that's a little bit newer and that I would suggest is Clubhouse. Clubhouse is an app where you can be in like little groups and discuss various topics. It's kind of an app that you need to be on to understand how it works, but basically it's kind of like a chat room, but you're actually speaking like with your voice, but there is no video aspect to it. So in that sense, you're able to kind of just say what you want without people really knowing who you are. So in that sense, it's kind of easier because you're only talking without people really seeing your face or anything like that. And the chances of you never having to see them again or actually meet them in real life is really high. So it gets you kind of out of your comfort zone and talking to people and gives you that practice so that you're even able to do it in real life, but you can also make really good deep connections on Clubhouse as well. There are groups where there's singles trying to meet. I know that's like you're looking for friends, but there's possibly also groups that are looking for friends. You just kind of need to like search for those groups or search for groups that have like similar interests to you. Like I said before, like there are groups that are talking about things like meditation and spirituality. There are groups that are talking about entrepreneurship, and through that, because you have that common ground, it's easier for you to make those relationships and slide into people's DMs, be like, hey, I loved hearing your conversation. I would love to chat more. Maybe we can set up a Zoom call or get a coffee together or something like that to start building a further connection, or even just like talking back and forth via Instagram or something like that. Clubhouse is great because you have a bit of anonymity because people don't really see you like visually talking. They'll see a little picture of you and they'll hear your voice, but then after that, like if you choose to kind of never join that group again or leave, like they won't really see you around, or they won't really know who you are. And it kind of takes that pressure off of like what you look like and how you appear in front of people. All they're hearing really is your voice. So it'll build that confidence in you to be able to converse with people a little bit more easily. And then finally, I would say just put it out into the universe. You know, say daily affirmations about attracting new friends to you. I think when you're putting that type of energy out, the universe kind of brings that energy back to you. If you're actively seeking it, actively talking about it, you naturally will start gravitating towards those type of people that are looking for the same thing. I remember when I broke up with my friends of 10 years, I was afraid of the same thing. I'm like, man, I'm like 24, 25 now. Like, this is gonna be awkward. Like, where do I meet people? I also work for myself, so it's not like I can meet people like in an office or something like that. Like, how am I going to make new friends? And honestly, once I let go of those people out of my life, it made room for me to make new friends. And people slowly started just gravitating into my life, the people that I needed. I had old high school friends like reconnect with me. I had people that I met just through work that I did, not through an office, but like I became really good friends with the girl that did my eyebrows. I became really good friends with a girl that owns a jewelry company that, you know, I worked with to promote their jewelry. So those types of people started like kind of flowing into my life because it was something that I put out there and something that I made room for personally. And I think you'll start to see that happening too. I think if you're more closed off and you're scared of it and just being like, oh, I'm never going to make friends, you're not going to be attracting those people, because that's the type of energy you're putting out. You're putting out this energy of like, okay, stay away from me. I don't think I can make friends. I don't believe in myself, etc. Whereas if you're putting out this energy where I'm ready for new friends, I'm ready to create a deeper relationship with someone else on a friendship level, then the universe will bring you that type of energy and those type of people. I hope that helps, and I hope you find some new friends. I'm sure you will. Just put yourself out there and you'll be great. The next question I got was, does everyone come to a certain age where you cease to give a fuck? I love this question. I would say it really depends on the person rather than the age. I think as you get older, you start to really come into yourself and become more confident and know who you are. So with that, you start to give less of a fuck because you know what you want and you're more confident in yourself. But there are a lot of people that, you know, get older and don't feel very confident in themselves and don't really come into themselves, so they continue to like really nitpick at everything that's happening in their life. I think what really makes you stop giving a fuck is when you start to discover yourself, when you start to understand who you are, what you want, and really ground yourself. And that requires a lot of like self-healing and shadow work. I think, you know, being able to look back at your life and understanding, okay, these are my toxic traits. This is the toxic way I cope with things, and unlearning those things and really being able to recognize your emotions and feelings and sit with them and deal with them really in a healthy way, so that your feelings and emotions aren't controlling you, but you are controlling it, and that you have more of a handle on it. And I think that way you're able to stop giving a fucks about things that you don't really need to waste your time and energy on, because you know at that point what is important for you and what you actually do need to care about versus what is not and is just sucking your time and energy. So really, depending on how much shadow work you've done and how much self-reflection you've done, will depend on how much I think you give a fuck, because you'll start to understand where to actually put your time and energy. I also think as you get older, another thing that happens is that you start seeing the world for what it is and understand that everything isn't always as it seems. And so when you're younger, you put a lot of blame on yourself. You think that there's something wrong with you, versus understanding that some things are just what they are and you don't have control over them. All you have is control over yourself. And so you stop caring about the things that aren't in your control. You stop letting them kind of control your life, and you come to peace with that. Really, you come to peace with the fact that, okay, I did all that I could. Now it's on whatever, the universe, the person, the situation, it's on them to follow through with the rest. And if it doesn't work out, well, I did everything I could and I'm happy with that and I have no regrets. And so, yeah, it's really not about like you cease to give a fuck about anything. You just start to understand what is important to you and what is worth your time and energy, so that you're not constantly worrying about every little thing. I hope that answers your question, but please do your shadow work, do your self-reflection, and you'll start giving fucks about things that you want to give fucks about. Anyways, guys, I'm going to end the video off here. If you did enjoy it, please do not forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. And again, if you do have any questions for me, need any life advice, please feel free to leave them in the comments below or send me a DM on Instagram or reply to my stories on Instagram, and maybe I will choose your question for the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!